about reflections, glass reflections. You have to be very, very careful because there is one mistake you make and I don't want you to make that mistake anymore. So before I show you this, I would like to make a very quick sketch with you. I will use this as an underlay to trace it, okay? And I will show you the big mistake you make. So when you make your sketches, okay, and you have your greenhouse here, like in this case you're doing, okay, be very basic. Okay, this is your greenhouse. And now I am sure that for you comes moment when you have to decide where you put your glass reflections, right? And so if you take your marker, which is this one, okay, let's suppose it's this one, then you make your graphics like this. And the other one on the windshield on this side here, okay? And then of course you take a darker marker and you make your shadow. Which is this one. Let's make it. Okay, so then you take your darker marker and you make some transparency. For example, we have the B pillar here, the little triangle there, and here usually we have the other side of the car that in transparency we can kind of see it, okay, like that. So if we analyze this sketch, okay, we see that we have our door here because this is our A pillar, okay, and then we make our door here, okay, and here we have the other side of the car in transparency. So this is your reflection. Many people do that. Okay, so I want to make it clear once for all that this is wrong. Please don't do this anymore. This is wrong. And I'll explain to you why. The wrong part is this one that I put in red. This is a very bad mistake. This part. Because a reflection on a side glass can never follow through the side glass area to the front windshield. This is impossible. Let me show you good examples. Look at this one. Look at this one. Reflection stops before. Then we have our core, and then we have the reflections of the windshield on the other side. And as you can see, this line, it's a little bit rounded because this is a very spherical windshield. You know, it's a sports car. So the greenhouse here, it's kind of bubble, you know, a little bit. And you can see that you have that feeling by looking the way I sketched and I render the windshield. And you can see also that this is a cylinder. And because this is a spheric cylinder, because in top view the car is doing a little bit of that, you know, when it starts to turn the surface like this, tapping in, the reflection will start coming down, because reflections will never follow the shape on the other side, which is exactly the mistake you made here. You made the reflection that is following on the other side, like this. You see? It is not possible. This is not nature. Even geometry, it's impossible. Let me give you another example. This one, look, very basic, almost the same perspective. Side reflection, this is a cylinder. It stops when we have the A pillar. Then we have our windshield, which is kind of flat windshield. Very different from this one. This is very round. You see the section here? It's very round. Okay? If I had to make the lines, this part in the back, it's here. You see? So it's very round and very bubble. It stops here. It's very soft. This one, it's flat. You see? This one is flat. But the same thing, the reflection, it's only on the right side. And it's never here. Here we have the core. The core, we have a shading from dark, okay, to light. You see? And that shows how it's turning. Now, another example on a side view. Side view. The A pillar. This windshield is more a round windshield, okay? As you can see from here. This is the side glass on top of our door. And look at the reflection. It's coming down just before. It never comes across. It never goes on the other side. In any case, in any perspective. So, please, when you do that, just don't do it. Another mistake you make, another mistake I see very often, is that when we have a side view, okay, let's make a side view. Once again, there are two things that are really wrong, but really wrong. It's here and it is here. And the reason is always the same. Your reflection cannot follow and turn on the other side on top of the windshield or in the back here, because it's the same thing that we explained here before. This part, it's never come until here. It's impossible. And also this part, it's never gonna come until there. Impossible. The reflections must stop before. So I will show you the right reflections on this sketch. The right reflections would be like this one. This is the right reflections, not this one, not this part. And I explain to you what I mean by that. Let's make a little section sketch, okay? So, if I think of a top view, okay? So, let's make the section here. If I make a line here, a line from the center of our windshield, like that, okay? And then I do the same thing here, and the same thing here, okay? And I say that this is my center line, all right? This is top view, okay? Very important, don't forget. We are watching this in top view, watching from the top. So, look at the geometry of our windshield. From top view, it goes from here to here. Then we have our side cylinder, side glass. Let's make it. And then the last part, it's the back window, okay? The tailgate. Here we have a tailgate. Here we have the cut line, okay, of our tailgate that opens up, right? Okay, so let's make it. All right. So, from top view, we have this is our car from top view, about the cabin, okay? This is our door cut. And here there is the other one. This is our A-pillar, all right? This is our cut line of our back tailgate. All right, can you see? Now, when I put the reflection here, as I said before, the reflection stops here. Because here we have a radius. This point, they stop. Because here, there is the radius that starts. You see? The radius starts here. And here also. And as we said, the reflection will never follow. It doesn't follow. It stops before. Now there is another thing that I have to show you about this. I hope that that makes things a little bit clear. The windshield, it's a part of a conic shape. I'll draw it here. Make a cone. Okay? Then I take my marker, I make reflection here, line, reflection here. All right? And this is the core. You see? Very simple, nothing complicated. Okay. Now, you know that if the windshield comes from the conic shape, I will show you how. The windshield, it's a small part of a conic shape. You see? So when you see this and you see this, you understand and you will find the same things. The reflection, here we have it. The white, here we have it. The core, which is this one, here we have it. But we don't have reflections here, you see? Impossible. So now let's talk about side reflections. Side reflections comes from cylinder. It is a cylinder. Okay? Let's take again our markers and let's make the reflections on a cylinder. Okay. So now let's put the core, the sky. Okay? All right. So when we are talking about cylinder, this part here, where we have a reflection, the core here, you know, and we say that the side glass is a part of a cylinder, that side glass, it's here, look. You see? So now, when you go and check how we make the reflections and why we make the reflections in this way, you understand it because it comes from the basic shapes, the cylinder. Alright? Now, the last thing I would like to do with you to explain this really well is how is it possible? Okay? Now, if I combine a cylinder, okay, cylinder, and a conic shape, okay, I think that what is in between that breaks and makes the transition between a cylinder and a windshield, it's our pillar, our A pillar. That's why it's very important to learn three-dimensional, you know, with our plastic triangle here. Okay? So now, as you can see, when I put the two geometric shapes together according to the rules of the basic shapes reflection, you cannot have these reflections that is following on the other side. In any case, in any perspective, it's impossible. So please, don't make any more this bullshit. This is bullshit, okay? Don't do it. Don't do it anymore. Okay? So remember what I said. This is a geometrical basics from drawing classes, okay? This is good reflections, and before. This is good reflections, and before. And also here, very much. Why? Because this is also very spherical, you see? But from the core, we see the cylinder part. It's only this small part, the cylinder. You understand? Okay? Thank you! I hope it was useful to you. Ciao!